All right, everyone. Thanks for coming by. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Today's panel is gonna be on DAOs and community. So we'll be touching on a variety of topics around community building and interviewing some of our experts today. So thanks for coming by. All right. So just to get things started, I'm Elmer. I'll be the moderator today. And why don't we start off with maybe you guys going around the room here and doing a quick introduction about yourself. Tell us who you are and what you're up to.
All right, thank you, Elmer, and thank you everyone for being here at DCentral. My name is Tsunami Diamond. My organization is called Ascended DAO, where we're taking a holistic approach to building a new earth and a new alternative society for humanity that serves the many instead of the few and provides access to the greatest products, things, experiences, locations for new ways of living, new ways of working on the planet, so we can truly make as big of a difference as we can in as short of time as possible.
Hey everyone, I am Lucia Diaz, and I'm a one-on-one artist that launched Mujeres NFTs. And for me, the art of Latina representation is the most important why for me. I feel like we all should be etched onto the onto the blockchain and not left out how we usually have been. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mariana Mena. I'm the founder of True Friend DAO. We're a network of experts tackling mental illness through 4 ways: with education, coaching, guidance, and friendship. So with this system, we plan to raise mental health awareness, help people help themselves, and help people reach their full human potential. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Cornelius. I'm here representing Exotics DAO. We're based in Southern California. NFT-based membership that gives you access to exotic cars. Despite exotic cars being pretty exclusive, we're all about inclusivity. This was started out of a passion for exotic cars with my brother since he was a kid. So we make it very affordable for people to get access to these vehicles that might otherwise be out of reach. So that's what we're about.
Amazing. Sounds like you guys are all working on cool things. So I want to start with the quick, summary just for the audience. If one of you can explain what is a DAO, how do we simplify that for everyone? What do we mean when we talk about DAO? Any volunteers?
I can start with a basic version. So started with the acronym Decentralized Autonomous Organization. For me, what a DAO is, it's about inclusivity. It's about everyone having a say. Having voting rights, having a say in the direction of how the organization builds, in the direction that it moves in. And so, there's a lot of specifics with the tokenomics, with all the technical lingo that goes into it. But again, for me, that's sort of the axiom of how it works. But that's my take on it.
Anybody else?
Yeah, really it's a tool that can be utilized for everything from creating an exotic car club for its members to governing a city, a country, a business in any form, a community, a tribe. It's a tool that can create transparency and trust so that way we can feel secure to come together and bring together our resources, our talents into a collective pool where we can have more power together instead of separate apart. So the potentials of these systems for humanity's future are exponential and will eradicate things such as voting that gets manipulated. When it's done on the blockchain, it can't be muted, and basically it will create more trust and transparency in the world and more inclusion and co-creation and togetherness, which is what we need more of in the world.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So let's move on to community. I know, all of you on stage here have done a fantastic job building community around your own brands and other companies that you've worked with. And feel free to I'd love to hear from all of you, but in no specific order, what are some of the things that you guys have used? What are some of the tools that you've used or strategies to build community and get people to rally around your mission and the types of things that you're doing?
I can take that question. So for me, I made sure to start hosting weekly Twitter spaces with experts and different Latina business owners, and also people that are in Web3 that are making a splash, like making sure that their voices are heard, and showing up for others in Twitter spaces as well, and requesting the mic and not being nervous or scared, because I think what many of us do is that we get it inside of our heads, but really Twitter, especially Twitter spaces, are a really great way to connect, not only just to connect, but also to land different gigs. I was speaking in a Twitter space for, I think it was Refinery 29. Somebody sent me a DM from Corbell that they are like, oh, hey, we heard you speaking in this space and we're interested in collaborating with you on this project for Latinas in Tech and Corbell, where I created a gallery featuring 30 mujeres in STEM. And if I wasn't in that Twitter space speaking, I would have never gotten that opportunity. So I say making sure that you show up, be present, reach out to people in the community, and don't feel scared to DM, and make sure that you create a safe space for people to speak and talk about their, what they're working on as well.
Right. So you're basically saying Twitter Spaces is a great platform to start building community, and don't be shy, right?
Don't be shy.
to
No
do
one's
that
gonna
cold
bite you.
outreach. Yeah. Ariana, what are some of the things that you've done within the True Friend community, and what are you doing to build that community?
Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is basically just following my intuition. Whoever is in line with, my mentality, where I want to get to in life with mental health awareness and actual tackling the mental illness issue. I reach out to those people, somehow we connect, and just, being straight up with your mission, what you're trying to achieve, because a lot of people will relate to that. So I think just, reaching out to people, wanting to get them involved and and be, partners, all of the people involved in True Friend DAO are actually becoming partners. So just a better way to make them feel like they're actually part of something other than just being members or investors, etc. So just communication, following your intuition with who you should reach out to, and maintaining good communication with whoever's in your team. I have a weekly team meeting where it's a Zoom call where it's me, it's whoever's on the team, just giving our opinions on what's going on in the world, their updates, and just feedback on what we're doing. And it's a really cool way to collaborate and just keep the motivation going. And
Right. So having a strong mission is important, because ultimately that's what's going to help others rally around you and build that community.
yes.
Cornelius, how about you?
Well, first of all, thank you, Elmer, for hosting this panel. You're an incredible DAO builder yourself, so hopefully we can talk about you at some point. To go off of what Tsunami was saying earlier about transparency and community, I think they go hand in hand. With DAOs, I mean, it's such a departure from how things have been done by boards behind closed doors, where no one knows what's going on, and then people as investors or people involved in the company just kind of taking it, right? And this turns it around and puts it in the hands of the people that are involved in the DAO or in the organization or whatever the setup is, right? For us, we're very lucky because car culture runs deep, especially in Southern California, in a lot of places. People love cars, right? Everywhere. So there is a sense of community already, but one of the things that I definitely give kudos to my brother and Donald for is that they help to maintain that community very locally in Orange County and just expand it. So it's already there. It's just making sure that every voice is heard. And I think that's very important. And
Right.
that's where we differ from traditional businesses.
Yeah, so making things inclusive and making sure that people feel part of it, right? And that they have some shared ownership and responsibility. Tsunami, how about you? What are some of the techniques that you're using to build up community and get other people to rally around your mission?
Yeah, I think that one part of it is having a strong mission that people want to rally behind, like you touched on, right? And aside from that, a mixture of using all sorts of tools, of course, digital tools and online platforms, like you mentioned, but also doing a lot of IRL and real life experiences. I mean, as a brand with Ascended, over the last like 5 years, we've been putting on a mixture of different experiences, everything from micro festivals to sacred site journeys. Like last year, I took a group of 33 people all across Egypt for a 10-night tour.
Oh, wow.
Or having mastermind get-togethers, because we're all about building a new Earth. So having masterminds on how do we come together and all bring ideas to the table on how can we most efficiently build a new Earth.
Right.
What ideas does anyone have? How can we rally groups around that part of this puzzle and start taking action steps towards that? Empowering people to step up and become leaders.
Absolutely.
We're not wanting to create a community where everyone needs micromanaged. We want people to come in and step up and see how they can be a leader within the community as well.
Super cool. Yeah, and that's the beauty about the DAO format, right? It allows people within your network to step up and be those leaders. You touched a little bit on like IRL or in real life events. So obviously we've all been stuck at home over the past couple of years because of COVID. Can any of you talk about like why in real life events or in-person meetups is important for community building?
Yeah, I could attest to that. We met in Colombia.
Yep.
I remember we met probably in a Twitter space digitally, and then meeting you in person solidified that bond, I think. And if you don't have events near you, create events. Start, at a coffee shop, at a library, or wherever you want to meet, and just get together with people. And at least me, I live in the DMV area in Maryland. I started my own group, and we go and we watch, soccer games, football games, and we just talk about Web3 together.
Cool.
So if you don't have somebody in your vicinity, if you don't have DCentral in your local area, create your own events, digitally or physically.
Yep. Ariana or Cornelius, have you guys done any or planning to do any in real life events or for community building?
Yes, so True Friend DAO is actually planning to host in-person events like once a year to basically just bring the community together and connect in person, because we're energetic beings and the connection in person is much more powerful. And I mean, I'm a big fan of virtual connection, but just nothing compares to in person. So I think that's definitely essential to grow the community further. And I mean, wherever you're located, as a founder or the community builder, it's just good to connect with people in that area. So maybe you get them involved and like you do brainstorming, you just connect somehow. And since that connection in real life is stronger, I just feel like there's more potential for things to happen.
Very cool. Cornelius, I know Exotics DAO has done, you mentioned there's a big car community in Southern California that you guys have leveraged. Can you talk a little bit about any like in real life events that you might have done?
Yeah, of course. So again, we, as a part of our, one of the things that we've dedicated ourselves to are events for our members and to bring people in. So far, since the beginning of the year, we've had 4 events, and we have one coming up in December, purely charity. So our charity is mental health. All of our secondary market, 1% goes to mental health charities in the United States. We obviously focus in Southern California. So for us, very important. Call culture, again, very important to have those in real life. But also going back to what you guys were saying about meeting online and then meeting in real life and then just kind of establishing or deepening that bond. I think that's very important because it gives you easy access to people that might not be near or next to you, but then over time that grows and who knows what it turns into, right? And that's what I love about DAOs is that there's a very traditional way of thinking, but I think when people get together, there's a different kind of energy that brings about new creativity, and that doesn't exist in other forums. Like, we're literally this panel as a community, as a DAO, and just by talking about things evolve. And so I think that's super important for us to just, it's a part of what we do every day, and I love it.
Yeah, super cool. Thanks for sharing that. I want to move on to, one thing is building a community. Another thing is like keeping that community engaged and informed and nurturing it, if you will. So what are some strategies that you guys have either done or planning to do to keep your community engaged and to nurture that community so that it doesn't become stale or so people don't lose hope?
So for me, anybody that's purchased any of my NFTs get a physical print, and they also get a call from me.
Oh, nice.
So I usually,
Is that a Zoom call?
It's
like
either
video
a Zoom
chat?
call, FaceTime, whatever. So I physically like to engage with my collectors because I think it's really special for somebody to invest in me. And so with that, I ask them, what are they working on? How can I best support them? So we have different either Twitter chats or even like monthly like meetups where we go on a Zoom call or even physically meet each other in person to see like what each other is working on and how we can best support one another. So asking somebody, how can you help them?
Yeah, amazing. So what you're saying is that you're also giving back value, right, to people that are supporting you and that are part of that community. So they always feel like it's a win-win between both parties.
Yeah, and how do you do it, Elmer?
No, I'm in agreement with you. I think, any partnership, whether it's a business transaction, an investor and business relationship, or even like a community member, I agree with you. I think both parties need to win at all times. And I think that's what leads to the best outcome. So I think for me, like everything I do is around like, how do we make this a win-win where we're both super happy about it? Ariana, do you want to share any thoughts on community nurturing and how to keep people engaged?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the weekly meeting that I have with the community, I really like that because we touch base on topics on mental health specifically, but we also touch base on like politics and like other topics going on in the world and how they can be related to what we're trying to achieve and all that. So like also seeing breakthroughs happening in mental health and science and psychology, all these topics that we deal with, that motivates us and lets us know that we're going in the right direction, and it's kind of like feedback, like, oh yeah, like this is happening, like this is being accepted more, like, oh, this is science backed now, like nice, like so it's just it's just a way to keep us motivated.
So regular syncs with your community, keeping them informed through different methods.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom calls is one of them, in-person meetups. Cornelius, any thoughts on like what are some of the things you're planning to do within Exotics DAO to keep that community engaged and motivated as you build the organization?
First of all, you don't have to ask if I have any thoughts because I do. No, but for me, I think I look at things a little bit more abstractly, maybe. Like, how you take care of a plant, you water it, you make sure it gets enough sun, you give it a little fertilizer. It's no different. Like me taking care of our community is no different than walking up to you and say, hey, how's it going? Checking in with you, just being there, letting you know that, I don't know, it's not just it's not just a business. That's what it is for me. And so with our newsletters, with all the different things that we do, like our merge page, all of the different things that we've launched, that's at the core of it. And we're always looking for feedback. Like I email and talk to people regularly who are a part of our DAO, and I'm like, you guys, what suggestions do you have? Because there's no way that all my ideas are going to be the best ideas, right? And so,
but they are epic ideas, I assume.
They're lofty goals for sure. Yeah, they're But I think it would be great. Even with the people that are here, just kind of getting their feedback and what works, because again, it's like he may have an idea or she may have an idea that I would have never thought of, and it's like by just having these conversations, things evolve. And I keep coming back to this point because it's so important for me personally, just to be inclusive. We are building a new earth, and I think we can have a lot of say in how things go. And I think it's really important. I know this is way off topic, but it's important to me, so I'm going to bring it up. But in the car culture, it's like so uber masculine, and it's like, rough guys with tattoos like my brother. And so when I first came in, I was like, you guys, we've got to be more inclusive. I want more females. I want more diversity. I want people that are different. So I was like, okay, enough of the black. Mind you, I'm wearing all black today. And I was like, let's get some pink in there, which all of you guys were a part of. And it's just I don't know, again,
Amazing.
Off topic, but.
No, that's amazing. I think it's good to make everybody feel at home, because you're right. I think within the car community, it's all a boys club, right? And I think while we're on the topic of inclusivity, I want to give a shout out to Justin and the DCentral team for having one of the most diverse panels probably in all of Web3 this week here. So thank all of you guys for deciding to join us today. I want to move on to, thinking about the future, right? As you look into 2023, we're obviously in a bear market. There are some people that are just, fed up with NFTs and crypto. And obviously a lot of the real builders and the real believers of your mission, I'm sure, are still around. But how do you maintain hope, right? And how have you kept crypto prices out of the conversation, if you will, if they're not relevant?
Well, really, what's going on right now, I feel, in the crypto space is good, because it's getting a lot of the BS out of the market. And the only NFT projects, the only projects that are going to survive that have long-term goals that benefit their users versus are trying to do a quick rug pull, right? Creating true value. And really, what we're working on is a very, very lofty goal at Ascended DAO, to build a new earth, to build all these new systems that serve humanity, whether it's financial, real estate, education, new layers of technology. With our metaverse, where we're bridging digital and physical reality and real world spaces, and all geared towards health and wellness and impact. So what I see, in knowing about where we're going in this time of history we're in, at this very pivotal changing point, entering in the Aquarian age, and I know where the future's going, in the bright future that I like to focus on and hold my attention on, versus the old crumbling world, focusing on the new and how we can truly make this future for ourselves and 7+ generations to come so much better, and we can truly heal the planet. So part of how we can keep going is having success and having wins, and celebrating each and every win along the way, and planting seeds each and every day by connecting with more partners, more nonprofits, bringing in more talent each and every day, and we're focused on creating lasting things for our community, not just digital but physical spaces that can constantly be there as lighthouses to bring together some of the most amazing minds of our planet to come together regularly and have life-changing experiences, powerful masterminds and acceleration programs where we can give back to our community constantly by giving value to them and the world.
So rug pullers are gone. Sounds like the real builders are left. I want to, as we sort of transition to wrap things up here, I'd love to kind of hear from each of you, maybe starting with Cornelius and then Ariana. What are some final thoughts that you can share, maybe some actionable next steps for someone that's probably building community? What are some, maybe one or two things that you would suggest they implement or think about? And then also, any final thoughts from you, and how can people find you if they want to learn more or follow you online?
Sure. What you said a second ago about bear market, bull market, all that, I think it's very important, like you said, it is a pivotal time in how things are changing. Yes, this bear market is pushing out projects that might have been, sort of on the cusp. But I think with everything that's going on in crypto, it's also important for us to sort of self-govern and to choose what's right. Like if you're doing something that you shouldn't, because everyone gets that feeling in their gut, right? Then you just shouldn't do it. We wouldn't have huge collapses in crypto like we've been having, So, and again, for bear market, bull market, the technology that this platform allows for, NFTs, blockchain, it just doesn't exist.
Yep.
So I know that there's not mass adoption yet, but just based on what it offers, it's like the internet. You can't avoid it, know?
So what you're saying is basically don't be a scammer, build real businesses,
right,
and the community will come.
Right.
How can people get a hold of you? Are you on social media?
Exotics DAO across all platforms, exoticsdao.com, Twitter, everything, just Exotics DAO.
All right, so at Exotics DAO, and you guys have a booth out here for the rest of the day. Ariana, any final thoughts, and how do people communicate with you?
So you can find me at TrueFriend, at TrueFriend.com, and for all socials, same thing. And for me, at TrueFriend Ari, and it's TRU friend. But I just wanted to comment something really quick. Also, seeing the history of civilization and economy, like we go through cycles, and the bear market, the bull market, like it has its cycle. So I'm sure that the same way we've fallen down before and risen up and to greatness is gonna happen again. But yeah, obviously those the BS founders that are just scamming and doing bad, they're getting out of the way, and the good ones are here to stay, and those are the ones that lead. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Lucia.
So for me, just piggybacking off of Ariana, I think it's cycles. As an artist, don't ever depend on one stream of income. Like that's what I always tell everyone. Like make sure that you have multiple streams of income, and also brands are still coming into the space. Like it's not over, it's not done. Like people are still coming in, and so there are opportunities to collaborate with brands, and not just brands, but also different people that are here. So continue forging these relationships, because you never know down along the line, how you can collaborate with each other. So
super cool. How do people find you on Twitter or Instagram?
Hola Lucia Diaz is how you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. And I just launched my site, buylucia.com. So thank you.
Tsunami, where can people find you as we wrap up here?
Yeah, people can find me at our websites dao.ascended.life or Ascended DAO across the board, Instagram, Twitter, or my handle Tsunami Ascended on those platforms as well.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you to our panelists. You guys did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Let's give them a hands up. Thanks, everyone.